Hi, welcome back to our Honors Geometry video playlist. Our Honors Geometry. This is my regular geometry playlist. I apologize for that. We're going to find the area and perimeter of figures in a coordinate plane. So in this video, we're going to find that area and perimeter. Now, perimeter is just the distance around a figure. You know, if you've ever heard in like an action movie or a spy movie, they might say, secure the perimeter of the building. Well, what they're saying is, they want to surround the outside walls of that building. So we're going to find the perimeter by adding up the outside walls or the outside edges of our figures. So to find the perimeter, just add up all the outside numbers. 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 should get you 28 miles. Then on number 2, I see that this is a rectangle, so the opposite sides are going to be equal. And what I need you to do is pause the video and find your perimeter and then unpause to check your work. Okay, so your final answer would be 10.2 yards. But what do I do if it's not a nice, neat shape? What do I do if it's on a coordinate plane and I give you a scary looking shape? Well, I want to find the outside edges. So what's nice about these is I can count up these nice horizontal and vertical lines. I can just count those. So 1, 2, 3, 4 up top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the bottom. But this one is diagonal. That one I can't just count. So what I'm going to have to do is I will have to use my distance formula between the two endpoints of that segment. So between 0, 3 and -4, -3, I've got to find the distance between those 2 points. And I'll label mine x1, y1. And x2, y2. And if you need a refresher on the distance formula, I've also linked a video on the distance formula, or you can find any number of distance formula videos online as well. But I'll label my x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And when I add these up, I get the square root of, and that's 4 squared is 16, plus 6 squared is 36. So let me simplify that even farther. That would be the square root of 52, or in a calculator, that would be, 7 point, let me check, a little bit more than 7. 7.2 approximately. So this side is 7.2 units long. I need you to find the perimeter of this object. Add up all the outside measurements and then tell me what the perimeter is. And your perimeter should be 25.2 units long. Now on 4, we would have to, because all of these are diagonal lines, we'd have to do the distance formula 4 separate times. So I would like you to do the distance formula 4 separate times on a separate piece of paper, pause the video, and then when you're ready, unpause and check your work. Alright, so I'll just show one example. I'll show BC, that segment length BC. So what is this segment? It would be the distance between 0, -3 and -3, 1. So maybe it's 0 minus -3 squared and -3 minus 1 squared. And of course, you could have switched those. Maybe you would have -3 minus 0 and -1 minus or I'm sorry, negative 3 minus 0, and 1 minus negative 3. That's okay too. You can switch those as long as you're consistent in the direction that you subtract. So this would be 9 plus 16, or the square root of 25, which is 5. And your other sides should also be 5. So your total perimeter, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, is 20 total units. Now the areas are a little bit different. The areas are kind of tough. So some students struggle a bit with identifying the areas, how to find the area, and why do we use that formula. Well, the area of a rectangle is just the length times the width, or the base times the height. I like to say base times height. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I always like to say base times height when I'm talking about rectangle areas, and the reason for that is because it's not very even. Let's see if I can even that out a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty close. If I have 7 units this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I have 7 units going the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, the area is just how many boxes did you get in the interior if you have 7 rows and 7 columns. Well, you would get 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. You would get 49 total boxes. You would have to multiply the length times the width, or the base times the height. So this would be 49 square miles. The area of a triangle, however, is not base times height. It's 1/2 base times height, and we'll talk about why in just a second. So we have a rectangle on 2. Find your area, base times height, and you should get 6.2 yards, square yards. Now the area of a triangle, the reason why it's 1/2 base times height is because if I were to take my rectangle and make it into 2 triangles, the area of this triangle wouldn't be the whole base times height, the whole rectangle. I'm finding just half of the rectangle here. So because you're only finding half of a rectangle, every triangle is half a rectangle, that's why you have 1/2 base times height. So on this third one, 1/2, my base is 8, and my height is 4.5. So my total area should be 18 square miles. Why don't you pause the video and try number 4 on your own, and then unpause and check your work. Alright, so on this one you should have gotten 3 square inches. Don't forget the 1/2 base times height. And that's it for right now. If you need any extra help, ask me for a video, stop by in the mornings, get a pass to the math lab.